Let's move on. Let's talk 76ers. Ben Simmons, future rookie of the year. Obviously, I think Ben Simmons is future rookie of the year. Currently, right now, this Philadelphia 76ers team, currently has about 15, 16 games to play as well. And Joel Embiid is currently leading the team right now at 23.4 points per game. And JJ Redick is second in scoring at 16.7. Ben Simmons at 16.4. Sarge at 14.9. Covington at 12.5. Bellinelli at 11.3. And Ilyasova at 9.4. Ilyasova and Bellinelli were two huge upgrades for them that essentially added 20 more points per game for this 76ers team, which means that you have Embiid, you have a guy like JJ Redick who is playoff tested, although he was on the same team as CP3, so really how playoff tested are you? But you feel what I'm saying. Well, you listening feel what I'm saying. Maybe you don't. You might be a CP3 fan. I feel sorry for you. I'm sorry. But they added more scoring. And coming up in terms of their schedule to finish out the season, the 76ers have Brooklyn, then Indiana, then the Knicks, then Brooklyn, then Charlotte, then Memphis, then Orlando, then Minnesota, then Denver, then the Knicks, then Atlanta, then Charlotte, then Brooklyn, then the Pistons, then the Cavs, then Dallas, Atlanta, and Milwaukee. The 76ers over their last 15, 16 games are actually gonna go. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. What do I think that they might go? I think that they are over their last 16 games. They're gonna wind up going 11-5. And that 11-5 will put them at 46 wins and 34 losses. I'm sorry, no, at 46 wins. That's interesting. I don't know. I think they might land somewhere around 35 losses, which I think will put them at 47 wins. So I think they can do a great job and pretty much not necessarily run the table, but run the table against all the easy teams. There should be no reason why they should be losing to Memphis, Atlanta, Dallas, Brooklyn. They should be beating the living hell out of those teams. Those are layup games. And for this 76ers team, you can pretty much ensure yourself to get into the playoffs by just simply beating the competition you should be. And I believe that this team has 2 to 3 guys where if I need them in a series to be guys that can give me 20 in the game, they have them. And I think those guys are Ben Simmons, I think Joel Embiid, and I think JJ Redick can do that for you. Yes, I do. In a series, and that's what you need from them. And I think Joel Embiid in the series can average 30 and 13. And Ben Simmons can probably average 20 and 10 in the series. Ben Simmons in the game last week versus the Bucks had like 8 assists in the first quarter. And I was just like, what? Like, what? Like, what? And everybody who says that Ben Simmons cannot shoot, you're wrong. Ben Simmons cannot shoot threes. But Ben Simmons, I've seen Ben Simmons come off a dribble drive and shoot a left-handed fadeaway, shoot a shot off a post-up that's faded away with his left hand. I still think he's a right-handed shooter, but he's still shooting 50. I mean, I don't even know what is he shooting this year. Ben Simmons this year from the field is shooting 53.9% from the field this year. So he's still shooting a very good percentage. Ben Simmons just doesn't shoot threes. And if that's not his strong point, I'm fine with that. We got guys like Bellinelli, Covington to do that. Even Ilyasova, I'll throw him some threes if he wants some threes too, which is also a good balance for them off the bench with Sarge, because I feel like my biggest problem with Sarge is that they play him too many minutes. So he isn't always fresh. Like sometimes he looks gassed, and then when he has to go to the bench, they had Amir Johnson backing him up and fucking James Michael McAdoo. Not good backups. So now you got Ilyasova, now you got Bellinelli, you guys firepower off the bench. I think they'll be good. They'll make it, and I see them making it as like the 6th seed. And if they make the 6th seed and they play the Cavs, who knows? They probably will lose in 6, but I wouldn't be surprised if they play a team like the Wizards or the Bucks in the first round by happenstance, or the Pacers. I think they make it to the second round. Go ahead.
I don't think this team is. Well, again, it like you said, it depends on matchups for Philly. But before, I was such a non-believer in Philly.
Yeah.
But the way they used the buyout market, they became a deep team really quick.
Yeah.
They fixed every issue they had immediately.
Yep.
Like. Because beforehand, even with Embiid, I would have said you was going to be immobilized in the playoffs because you have nobody who could shoot around him besides like Redick. So like Redick and Covington, but Covington still sometimes
he fell off a cliff.
Yeah,
he was like leading the league in NBA 3-point shooting. He got his contract, and you know what he's shooting right now from 36.5%.
Exactly,
terrible.
Fell off a cliff. Saric, cool, but I'm not. I need proven veteran shooting, somebody I know who's going to get out and knock down the shot when I need you to knock down the shot. They have that now.
Mm-hmm.
And also Bellinelli can also make plays off the ball. Like if you need Bellinelli to take a big shot, I saw Bellinelli hit some game winners for the Bulls a couple years back.
He's not scared of the moment.
Bellinelli don't give
He's
a
also
fuck.
a European player. They're never scared of the moment. And like you said on the episode a while ago, when you ever seen a player from overseas where you come in and you like, he not going to play or he not going to hoop?
You know they're going to hoop.
Exactly.
They've been professional since they was like 16, 17 years old. They don't give a fuck.
Which is why I like LaMelo and LiAngelo going to Europe. Try to get to the NBA. Go ahead.
Fair. But yeah, so they became a really deep team really quick, and it just depends on matchups for me. If they play Cleveland, I think they could lose in like 6. They play Washington, I think they could win in like 6. They play Indiana, they could win in like 6. They play Boston, they could give them hell. They play Toronto, they'll probably get washed. But they play Boston, I think they can make it a series. They still probably lose in 6, but they can make it a series. I just like what Embiid could possibly give you now that you have people around him who can space the floor.
Yeah.
So I like this team, but again, this is another team. It's not about right now. It's about the future. You even being back in the playoffs says the process worked. You trusted it. It works. Let's move towards the future. The number 1 draft pick, we don't even have him back. If he can come back and give us anything, that helps. And we still have a lottery pick this year, probably because Lakers not making the playoffs. So.